September 1976. A man driving through Canyonlands National Park finds himself pursued by a terrifying, ghostly truck.
He'd never seen anything like that. He realized he wasn't going to be able to outrun it. He was so afraid it was going to run straight over him.
This is National Park: Secrets and Legends. In the high deserts of southeastern Utah, Canyonlands National Park offers a stunning landscape of gorges and spires, and unusual rock formations seen nowhere else. Sculpted over millions of years by wind and water, it's a sun-baked playground for nearly 500,000 visitors who come here every year. But many believe the park also harbors dark and sinister forces, so powerful they cannot be contained.
Some people consider this a dangerous area, and I think it's the vast expanses. It is disorienting. We don't know half of this area. It hasn't been explored.
Fall 2010. A couple is driving near Canyonlands National Park. They're in the middle of a quarrel that's starting to get out of hand.
The argument gets so bad that the woman decides to pull over and just cool off. She parks the car on the side of the road, puts her head back and closes her eyes.
The husband goes for a walk to try to calm down. All of a sudden, in the distance, he is surprised to see what looks like a man walking towards him. He can't understand what someone could be doing out in the middle of the desert with no other car in sight.
He begins to watch this character and kind of looks like a disheveled man, but it has a strange gait, as if it's hobbling on a leg that's bad.
The figure in the distance is so odd-looking, he decides to take a picture. But when he tries to do so, he finds the battery has inexplicably died. Then the situation gets even stranger.
As he watches the figure, it suddenly raises a hand. It seems to be a gnarled, misshapen hand, and then it points at him. Now he's very disturbed. He's watching the figure closely, trying to discern facial features, and realizes it's not exactly a man. It looks more animal-like to him.
He realizes that whatever it is, he needs to get as far away from it as possible.
He drops his phone, he panics, rushes towards the vehicle, screaming at his wife.
With the creature safely behind them, the couple could now breathe a sigh of relief.
The couple is racing down the highway. They're looking at each other, still terrified by what they've just experienced. But suddenly, the wife sees a misshapen hand holding on to the driver's door.
The husband desperately tries to fight off the creature, who clings to the vehicle with surprising tenacity.
Finally, he hits it enough times that it forces the creature to let go. As he turns around, he sees the creature rolling around where it fell.
What was the beast that attacked the couple that day? David Weatherly has a bizarre theory. He believes it was a malevolent creature known as a skinwalker.
They can appear in full animal form, often that of a coyote or wolf, but they can also appear in a strange hybrid form. These shapeshifters are known to be able to keep pace with vehicles traveling on the highways around the Canyonlands.
It's believed skinwalkers are Native American medicine men who have been corrupted by dark energy in the area, a force so powerful it turns them into creatures of black magic.
This is what the Indian people call the two-hearted people. He's a medicine man in daylight, but at nighttime he's considered a shapeshifter.
Legends say those that follow the path of the skinwalker are those who have fallen out of balance with the rhythms of life. And as a result, they begin to practice dark arts that pervert their normal morals, causing them to do terrible acts of violence.
The Canyonlands area has long been known for bizarre occurrences, especially among those who live near the park.
They refer to it as crazy lands because a lot of unusual, unexplained things that just don't make sense in the normal, scope of our lives seem to happen here.
Canyonlands inspires so much fear. The local Paiutes would only allow shamans in the area, believing only they could resist its strange power.
There's a lot of places out here where even we as Indian people cannot be allowed to go there, or if we go there, we have to prepare.
Strange occurrences in Canyonlands National Park aren't just happening on the roads. It's claimed they're also taking place in some of the park's most scenic areas. September 2012. Retired aerospace engineer Ronald Regere and his wife Darlene are hiking in a remote area of the park, searching for petroglyphs, pictures carved into the rock by the ancient inhabitants of the region. Suddenly, something unusual disturbs the silence.
We hear this horn honk out of nowhere. And I look at my wife and I said, "Did you hear it?" She said, "Yeah."
They're miles from the nearest road. How could there possibly be a car sounding its horn here, in the middle of nowhere? Puzzled, the couple continue their hike.
And we go a little bit further, and there's two rocks. She goes to look at the first one. I go on to the second one.
As Ronald makes his way around the outcropping, he hears something even more baffling.
I could hear voices, muffled voices, like you hear when you're in another room and you can hear people talking, but you can't quite make out what they're saying. Somebody's playing a joke on me or something. I go around the rock expecting to find two hikers.
To his astonishment, he finds nothing. No footprints and no sign of a human presence. Ronald is alone for as far as the eye can see.
I don't know what's going on. And now I'm really puzzled, so I hightail it over to the wife, and I said, "Where'd those guys go?" And she says, "There's nobody there. There's gotta be somebody. I heard them."
Later, as Ronald and his wife are leaving the park, it happens again. This time, he hears laughter. When he goes to investigate, once again, he finds there is nobody there. What could be the source of these mysterious sounds? Paranormal author David Weatherly believes the petroglyphs themselves could offer a possible clue to the mystery.
Some of these ancient petroglyphs, they're depicted with strange horns, sometimes something that appears to be almost a helmet. The depictions, some people believe, represent alien beings of some type.
Could a visit long ago by extraterrestrials be responsible for the unusual activities in the area? Could skinwalkers and aliens be somehow connected? A terrifying incident in 1976 could shed light on the mystery.
It was almost at that point on top of him. He was so afraid it was going to run straight over him.
The surreal, statuesque rock formations of Canyonlands National Park dominate the landscape of this parched corner of southeastern Utah. Some visitors to the park report a series of unexplained incidents. A terrifying attack on a couple by a skinwalker, mysterious voices, and a possible extraterrestrial presence in ancient paintings. Could these bizarre phenomena be somehow connected? A shocking encounter over 3 decades earlier may provide an answer. September 1976. John Dunning is driving near the park on his way to Texas.
He's an Indiana boy. He did not like driving on the freeways, so he went across country on back roads.
It's the middle of the night, and for as far as the eye can see, Dunning is alone on this isolated stretch of road.
And then he started to see something coming up from behind him, way far off in the distance. All he could see at that point were the lights.
As the lights get closer, Dunning sees that they belong to an unusually large tractor-trailer.
This one was so big it had 2 smokestacks on either side of the cab, and he estimated it was going about 130 miles an hour down the road.
The other vehicle is going so fast, it's rapidly closing the distance with Dunning's car. Then, he notices something even more shocking.
It was shooting smoke and sparks. It really scared him because it was bearing down on him. He didn't realize how fast it was going until it got closer and closer and closer.
Even more alarming, the truck is going so fast, the wheels are throwing off sparks. No matter what he does, Dunning can't shake off the terrifying, speeding truck.
He realized he wasn't going to be able to outrun it, and it was almost on top of him at that point.
With growing terror, he realizes there's only one way out. Veering off the road, he drives straight into the desert. Then, to his astonishment, the truck drives right past him.
As he watched it disappearing, it was like it was on fire. It's like the whole cab, everything about it was on fire. And to this day, he's not sure what it was, whether it was a truck or something else.
What happened to John Dunning on the road that night isn't an isolated event. There have been other reports of unusual apparitions in and around the park. Some claim to have been terrified by phantom passengers who suddenly appear in cars passing through the area.
Legend says they thrive on creating chaos and darkness. As a result, they are known to attempt to cause accidents and death in order to feed the energy that they thrive on. A lot of people advise not traveling in this region by yourself late at night because you risk harm, suffering, and even death.
It's claimed apparitions in Canyonlands don't just manifest themselves as strange visions. They can also alter people's perceptions.
Drivers in this area have reported having trips take much longer than they normally would from point A to point B. Time seems to not fit into what the normal distance would be.
It's one of the areas where people have reported a lot of distortion of time. Sometimes they experience what are called time slips. They will have strange experiences where they believe they see pieces of the past manifesting now in the present.
What could be responsible for these time distortions and apparitions in Canyonlands National Park? A clue may be found in an unusual incident that occurred several years earlier.
They were right back where they had started, again and again.
You're getting pretty freaked out at this point.
They would travel, but not travel.
The sandstone arches of Canyonlands National Park in Utah have stood since the dawn of time. More recently, visitors have reported hearing mysterious, disembodied voices, harrowing encounters with shape-changing skinwalkers, and terrifying phantom trucks stalking the highways. What could be responsible for these inexplicable events? An unusual occurrence several years ago may provide a clue. 1994. A documentary crew arrives in Canyonlands National Park to film one of the area's most unusual attractions, a rock formation known as Druid Arch.
The producer was getting people together and getting all their equipment, and so they started up the trailhead together.
As they climb into the foothills, the first thing they see is a sign saying Druid Arch, 3.7 miles. The hike seems to be going well, until something bizarre happens.
As they're going along, they come up over a hill and a turn, and they see another sign that says Druid Arch, 3.7 miles. It was getting tense. They were starting to get a little weirded out because they knew they'd seen that sign.
Despite the confusion, the crew continue along the path towards Druid Arch. They've been hiking for hours and look forward to finally reaching their destination. But then, it happens again. Inexplicably, they're right back where they started.
You're getting pretty freaked out at this point.
They were right back where they had started, again and again. They would travel, but not travel.
It's almost as if they're trapped. The producer tries to figure out what's going on.
He says, let's just keep going, and we'll go this way instead. So they took off on a different trail, and as they're going along, they come around and they start to see the same turn forming again. The producer decides we're going to just go straight on. We're not turning anywhere.
The crew are close to panic, desperately searching for a way forward.
Basically, they ended up face to face with a wall of rock, and they couldn't go any farther.
What happened to the documentary crew in Canyonlands National Park? Some say it has to do with the role that Druid Arch plays in Native American mysticism. It's claimed shamans may have staged ritual ceremonies there for thousands of years.
Druid Arch, it's a sacred place, and it's considered that by the Indians, and you'd have to show it a respect when you go in there. You don't just walk in and stomp around.
It's alleged that Native American spirits may be protecting Druid Arch from outsiders who don't have the permission of shamans to enter the area.
There's a lot of stories of Native American spirits guarding sacred spots, sacred sites, like Druid Arch, and they're going to guard, and they're going to guard forever.
But it's believed there may be another explanation, that sacred sites like Druid Arch could have unique properties that can cause distortions in time and space.
A lot of people believe that right around Druid Arch is a portal or dimension door, whatever people like to call it. And when you get in these areas, you have losses of time, people going round and around looking for something and ending up in the same spot again.
It's alleged that these sensations of time displacement are similar to what some drivers have experienced in and around the park.
These experiences leave people unsettled sometimes because it is an altering of the consciousness. We can't really explain these experiences thoroughly, but whatever it is, this has been going on for a very long time.
If Druid Arch is responsible for time distortions in Canyonlands National Park, could it also explain other strange incidents in the area? Some believe the true source of the park's sinister powers lie elsewhere, deep within a massive and remarkable structure known as Upheaval Dome.
This is the reason people can see things that are perhaps occurring in a different dimension of time and space.
To Canyonlands National Park in Utah have been shaken by a series of bizarre events. A camera crew caught in a time loop, attacks by terrifying skinwalkers, and disembodied voices in the desert. Some believe that a formation called Druid Arch, considered sacred by Native Americans, may exert a force that could be responsible for these strange incidents. But others claim the true answer lies in a mineral called quartz, which is found in great quantities in Canyonlands.
Quartz is silicon dioxide. What is it that we use in radios to transmit and receive? It is quartz. What is it that is in computers to store data? Quartz.
Remarkably, Tipton believes quartz is performing a similar function in the park by recording experiences from the past and playing them back. It could explain the strange disembodied voices heard by Ronald Regere.
There is the idea that human emotions, that human activities can be recorded in areas rich in quartz content. And then, due to spikes in the electromagnetic flow of energy, it plays it back, and people sense it in an almost ghosty apparition nature.
But what can explain the terrifying encounters with a phantom truck and a shape-shifting skinwalker, as well as the mysterious time loop that trapped a film crew? Some claim the answer may be found in one of the park's most striking features, a huge circular formation known as Upheaval Dome, where the quartz is unusual, showing signs of an ancient meteor strike.
Upheaval Dome has always been an area of intense energy recognized by the shaman, an area that they would go to pray, an area that has always been considered an epicenter within an epicenter, a holy of holies within the holy ground.
It's claimed that Upheaval Dome generates a form of energy called piezoelectricity. As a result of powerful tectonic pressures, it could explain visions of phantom trucks and skinwalkers experienced by visitors to the park.
Humans can easily become disoriented by a massive piezoelectric waves in a concentrated field of this nature. And this is the reason people can go into a different state of brain consciousness to actually see things that are perhaps occurring in a different dimension of time and space.
If the theory of the park's unique geology is correct, what visitors to Canyonlands have been experiencing for millennia aren't just strange visions. Some believe it could be a view into another universe where multiple dimensions exist at the same time.
Canyonlands make us realize that there are places on the earth that are natural cathedrals that'll make us aware of a higher presence.
Canyonlands is one of the most stunning, beautiful national parks for people to visit. But just bear in mind, you're, in a sense, treading on the past and experiencing the present at the same time.